Good morning to all. Today you will learn about production and employment. This is economics topic, chapter 3. First, you have to know about what is production and what is employment. Do you know what is production? Production is a process of combining various material inputs, immaterial inputs in order to make product for consumption. Here, what is immaterial inputs? Example, planning and know how to do that work. So these are all kinds of. Here it is consumption means what is? Consumption means it is called as output. Understand? Production is mainly start from market and next it is public and household. In that, production is mainly going on. Okay. And now, what is employment? Employment is a relationship between parties, usually based on a contract where work is paid for or profit based only. Understand? It is called employment. You can see this newspaper clip. Generally, you may have watched the TV news about Indian economy collapsed. Indian GDP grew only by 5% in 2012-13. At present day, 2019-20 financial year, it is 4.2% due to global financial crisis. Understand? Agriculture growth also moderate. Some statistics figures are disappointed with fall down in the present market value. So these are some of the important words we can observe in news channels or newspapers. Understand? Next, we have to learn about sectors of economy. What is this? Sectors of economy. People are engaged in different activities to earn their livelihood. These activities are broadly categorized into three sectors. What are that three sectors? You already learnt in 9th class. First one, primary sector. Secondary sector, second one, and third one is tertiary sector. What is that? Primary sector is also known as agriculture. Secondary sector is known as industrial sector, and third one, tertiary sector, is known as service sector. Understand? So these are all activities called as sectors of economy. Here sectors means three sectors. Understand? And sectoral goods. What is known as sectoral goods. The set of goods and services produced in a particular year means namely primary and secondary or service activities are known as sectoral goods. Once again repeat, the set of goods and services produced in a particular year, namely primary or secondary or service sectors, are known as sectoral goods. Sectoral goods. Understand? And now we'll discuss about what is agriculture sector. Agriculture sector, it's known as primary sector, mostly about agriculture and related activities such as fishing, forestry, mining, where nature has a dominant role in this production process. This is very important. Nature dominant is more in the production process. It is called as primary sector. And second one, secondary sector means related to industries. Industrial sector, manufacturing process and other industries where goods are produced by people using tools or machines. It is called as secondary sector or industrial sector. In primary sector, which is the main dominant role? Yes, it is nature dominant role. Nature only. The production based on nature, depending on nature. But here it is in the secondary sector, the production based on tools or machines. These are the main. Next one, third one, tertiary sector. What is this tertiary sector? It is called service sector. Those activities that do not directly produce a good but provide services that are required in production and other services for people are called as tertiary sector. Understand? In this sector, service sector, do not produce any goods but which are used in the production process. The service sector, different kinds of services there. Without this sector, there is no other sectors. In agriculture, who are participating in that agriculture work or agriculture activities? Some people, farmers or laborers, they are giving their services. In that industrial sector, who worked in the industrial sectors? Some group of people, workers, they are participating, they are giving their work only. Understand it is? But service sector, so these are all interdependent only. Agriculture and industrial and service sector, these are all interdependent, means interlinked only. In service sector, there is no free of services. By giving their services, they are collecting some money also. There is no free of service in that service sector. Understand? So these are all sectors are very important for that any country. Understand? You can observe here table. You can see mentioned here. Identify based on that. First one given, tailor. Tailor means what he produced, that some clothes, and mainly is belong to that. He is belong to service. Understand? Next one, basket weaver. Industries, basket weaver, industries. And next it is flower cultivator, flower. పువ్వులు అమ్ముకున్నవాడు, flower cultivator. It is also nature dominant. How that flowers, we will get that flowers nature dominant, means primary sector. Milk vendor. Vendor means bringing some milk, is giving service, so belong to that service sector. Fisherman, collecting some fish from ocean or any. So in that, which one is main? Nature dominant there, means fishermen belong to primary. Priest, you know that, and courier. So these are all services only, service oriented. Priest means, you know that, sir, courier, giving services. Next one here, workers in match factory. Here mentioned about factory, means it is related to industry only. Money lender. What is the use of money lender? Money lender means giving service. He is taking some interest and give some money to borrowers. Understand? So service sector. And next one, gardener. Doing that, it is primary related. Gardener, gardening, primary. And potter, preparing pots. How he prepared the pots? Main, he collects some first soil. So where he was collected, where he is collecting that soil? Sand or soil, from the nature only. So potter belong to primary sector only. Beekeeper means honeybee. Okay, it is also one kind of industry only. Honeybees, honey, preparing honey. It is also nature dominant, so it is primary. Astronaut means, you know that, they go to space and for researches. They are also giving their services, so it is belong to that service sector. Call center employees, they are giving their services. Mobile related, call center employees. Customer care executives. Similarly, number of service oriented people there, lawyer, teacher, police, and education related, medicine related, administration related. These are all services only. Understand? Sweepers, scavengers. So these are all services only. And you can observe these pictures and identify that they are belong to which sectors. You can see here, first one, observe. Yes, it is one. Observe what they are doing in that number one. Which sector? Yes, it is primary sector only. And second one, see, they're doing underground work, means they're doing related some mining work, so it is belong to primary. Now we can see the here third one and fourth. What is there in third one? Is talking something and calling to someone. So here giving services means it is related to service sector. And fourth one, preparing something using some machines or tools. Using the tools, so it is called, yes, secondary sector. Understood? And next here, observe these figures given here. Account that here mentioned about here and agriculture, industry and service sectors there. The workers employed in different sectors in the financial year in 2009 and 10, and also comparison given in 1972-73 financial year and 2009 and 10 year. What do you observe with this account, this table? This is also important. Understand? Agriculture sector in 1972-73, how much percentage there? 74% of people are employed in agriculture sector. Similarly, in industries, 11% of people are engaged in industries or industries related work. 15% of workers in service sector. If you observe that after 37 years, means in the year 2009 and 10, what do you observe that? The employment, agriculture sector, the employment has increased or decreased? It is 53%. We see here the percentage decreased only, means the workers are employed in agriculture sector is decreasing. How much percentage it is? Nearly 21% decreasing there. Among the sectors, in which sector is well developed or 100% developed there, or 100% increase there? Absolutely industrial sector only. Observe this table, industrial sector. 11%, previously it is 11% there. In 2009-10, you can see that 22% means percentage is increased. Understand it is? And how much? You can see next one, it is in service sector. In service sector, 15 to 25. Understand? Now you will learn about GDP. What is this GDP? How do we estimate GDP? GDP means gross domestic product. Here we have to learn about some examples. Suppose, how do you know some people are rich and some people are poor? What are the basis? You know that based on their dressing, and they are using vehicles, and what they eat means food, and living conditions means they got their home and other equipments, like how they're using facilities. They are going to hospitals for treatment. So these are based on this information, you will decide that the persons are belong to that rich, the persons are belong to that poor. But entire country, whole country, how do you know that? How do you measure that? We use the term GDP as the indicator of income for the country. Understand it is? Which is the main indicator of income for the country? GDP only. Based on the GDP only, how the country is good position or developing position or in poor conditions or in the developing manner there. First we have to know about definition. What is GDP? The value of all the final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year is called GDP. Understand? It is the sum of production in three sectors. All the final goods and services, these are all belong to that three sectors only, which include that goods and services, means it is the final only. Understand? It is a good becomes final. It is not used in the further production of goods or process. Understand? Right. So next one, here GDP means another definition there. GDP means C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What is this term? C is equal to here consumption, the people consuming, mostly people means private related consumption there, and I means investment, the government invests some money, it is called government related, and G means here, G indicates government spending for development. Understand? X minus M, exports. X means exports, M means imports. The difference between that, all together called as GDP. Once again repeat, GDP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C means consumption, I means investment, G means government spending for development, X minus M means imports and exports. How do we measure this GDP? GDP measures in three approaches there, not mentioned in textbook. Three approaches. What are the three approaches? First one, expenditure approach. Second one, income approach. Third one, consumption approach there. Here expenditure approach means it is one kind of measurement. In that, GDP is equal to C plus I plus G plus net exports. Understand? adding the value of goods and services purchased by each type of final user. It's called expenditure. Understand? First one, see, consumption goods and services purchased by householders. That is called C. Private investment goods and services purchased by businessmen. That is I. And third one it is G. The government goods and services purchased by government agencies. Understand it is. And last one, net exports means balance. It is called net exports, exporting items. This is called as expenditure approach. Understand? Here, expenditure means what it is expenditure. Suppose if you get some money, you spend some, you want to buy some goods, at the time you are spending some money, means it is called expenditure. Suppose 10,000 rupees, you are getting 10,000 rupees salary. You purchased some grocery goods for the ration for the month and some deposit. So these are all you purchase, what you purchase that by giving some money. It is called expenditure. అంటే మనం ఖర్చు పెట్టినటువంటి టోటల్ అమౌంట్ని ఎక్స్పెండిచర్గా చెప్తాం మనం. అర్థమైందా? రైట్. Consumption means what? Using goods, it's called consumption. Who are consumers? Who consume the goods and services, they're called consumers. అంటే తెలుగులో వినియోగదారులు అని చెప్తాం. కన్జ్యూమర్స్ అంటే వినియోగదారులు. All the people are consumers only. Understand? Who calculate the GDP in India? Which organization? CSO means Central Statistical Organization or Office. Understand it is? So India's Central Statistical Organization calculate the nation's gross domestic product, means GDP. India's GDP is calculated with three different methods. We already discussed that: expenditure, income and consumption method. Understand it is? So one is based on the economic activity and another one it is expenditure activity. Expenditure method means account that market prices. Okay, right? And last one, it is consumption approach. What is that consumption approach? We are using that consumption approach means that value of output method. Value added from each sectors. It's called consumption method or consumption approach. So GDP ni ee vidhanga measure chestam, right? Look at here. How do we estimate GDP? Actually we discussed that there are three approaches there: expenditure, and second one income, and third one consumption approach is there. Here also given the GDP records the market value of all the final goods and services produced. And next, GDP records all the public and private consumption the government outlays investments on exports and imports that occur within a defined territory. Territory means here defined land. Many services that are not sold or purchased in the market are not recorded in the GDP. For example, household work done by women, it's not recorded. Understand it is because it's not a paid work. They're not taking any money. Understand it is right. మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ కోసం మా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ది బెల్ ఐకాన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.